All right, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Rob's got that Walmart internet over there. That's HDR Rob. Good Rob, of course, has that high quality Tennessee internet that everyone prattles on about. But I know that HDR had a hot handshake story that he wanted to get into, and I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited.
I mean, it's not the best story in the world, but we were talking about we need to like get rid of handshakes, and you know, you're in the work setting, you have to do it. Like, there's no opt out, right? Like, you've never been in a scenario where you could just be like, no, I'm good. Maybe with COVID, it kind of started, and hopefully it continues. Because I had this meeting one time, and I had to go to the bathroom right before, and you see the guy in there, like, oh, hey, how you doing, whatever, and you see him bypass washing his hands, right?
No.
And then you're like, okay, awesome, and then you realize in 2 minutes you were in the same meeting with him, and he's coming around shaking everybody's hands. What do you do? What's the etiquette? Because like, I know he's now shaking every single person's hands with just pee all over. What do you do?
What I if it's me, I shake the hand.
I shook his hand. You're damn right.
Yeah.
I did. I grinned and bared it, but oh my god.
So
I think go, Matt. Go. Okay, I was gonna say I think most of all, it's just a character judgment. I will judge that guy forever so hard from now on. Like, whatever, germs are germs. Like, give me the germs. I'll take it. At least a positive now too is that after this, even if we still do shake hands, there's going to be Purell everywhere. Every room that you go in will have Purell, so we'll be all right on that front.
Yeah. I would, on that note, this reminds me of a story. When I was a freshman in college, we had a new guy move in halfway through the semester. His name was Shane. And Shane is a fucking asshole. That's why I don't feel bad about what happened at our first meeting at all. But I was alone in my room.
Ooh.
And sensual.
So I'm, things happen in there. Alone in my room, in between a couple classes. And I walk out of my room and I'm going right to the bathroom to wash up. And this new kid, Shane, walks right up to me and was like, hey, my name's Shane. I'm new to your floor, and just sticks his hand out. And I just like look at him, and I might have a little bit of jisms on my hand. I did clean it up a little bit with a paper towel or whatever. But I just took it, shook his hand right there. Was like, nice to meet you, man. Like, yeah, I got to run to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute.
Wait, but you were in your room, though. You weren't in the bathroom?
I was in my room. I was leaving my bathroom right when he was walking across.
That's not his fault. He was
like, oh, I'm new to the floor.
That's not his fault.
Yeah.
Oh, not his fault at all.
No. It was just bad timing. That's all it was.
I thought you started in the bathroom. I was like, well, it's his fault for trying to shake your hand in the bathroom.
No.
But
no.
It's on you, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, don't feel bad for it. He turned into be kind of a douchebag, so it kind of...
Maybe because he knew you shook his hand with jizz.
That just set
There's no...
a chain of events.
He was a douchebag to everyone. Well, that's true. He got a little of my jizz in his system, and it just turned him into a monster.
He got a little Matt DNA.
My girlfriend walked in on you masturbating once.
Did she?
Wait, what?
Yeah, in our college house.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah. You tried to cover up, I think. It didn't work.
Huh.
Yeah.
I honestly don't recall that. But,
she recalls it.
Well, I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
Maybe she should not.
Yeah, it's ingrained in her brain, probably.
Maybe you should lock the door when you're masturbating in a
I don't
shared
think our door
bedroom.
Did our door even have a lock on it?
That's irrelevant, Matt. Okay.
I don't think it had a lock on it.
Go in the bathroom.
I lived in that room. There was a lock on that door.
Yeah, I buy that too.
Well, things happen.
Actually, Rob, we actually had to change the door handle since you had moved out.
That's not surprising, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That room was rough. It was
that room was not that bad.
It was rough with. I'm not that it was. No, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't an ideal setting,
especially
for 3 people to be living in it with her for a couple of months. I mean, it was fine. Like, no problems overall. Like, I would do it again if I had to, without like a second thought. But there's issues that are going to be had with that sort of scenario.
Yeah, like you're just walking on people masturbating. Whatever, it happens, guys.
It happens. Yeah, we've all been there.
Just guys being dudes.
We're just some dudes being dudes. That's all.
Did your parents ever walk in on either of you two?
Nope.
I've had a close call, but it never.
Some close calls, but nothing terribly close.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I would say that's probably a good thing.
It's definitely a good thing.
Definitely not a bad thing.
Like, I'm really bummed. My parents never caught me hacking my ham. Like, well, when are they going to catch me? I tried to make it so obvious sometimes.
I do it in the kitchen.
I tried so hard.
Ma, come here. Get up here.
You never listen to me.
It's just reaching out for help.
Oh, God.
It's like describe such stress.
I just want to point out real quick, Rob, your audio is so much better right now.
Yeah, so just re-record the whole thing.
It's just so nice having it. It's just it's not even that. It's just people need to appreciate how you adjusted on the fly.
Well, it's fine. You can announce now that I'm also just the new host, number 3, and I'll be here every week and
get used to it, people.
There you go.
If you want it, you're in.
I'm in. I'm all in. We'll see how it goes.
We'll send out a survey.
We'll see if I'm annoyed with you by the end of this.
I don't even know how to. I'm trying to transition. Failed miserably right there.
Wow.
But you know what? No, I do have something. Forget everything I just said. You know what fucking annoyed me on Friday? My brand new boss, who I've never met before. She's moving here from like Kentucky or something. I don't even know. She called at 4:00 on a Friday to have an intro meeting, just being like, "Oh, what's your career been to this far? Like, how are things going? This and that. Like, where I can help you." At 4:00 on a Friday, I was just like, "Yo,
what time do you usually leave?"
I normally, my job's weird because I'm outside sales, so I kind of leave whenever. On Fridays, I typically leave around 4. But this particular day, I ended up starting at 5:30 because I was trying to leave at like 2:30, 3:00. So I was at my apartment just chilling at that point. And I was actually scheduled to work at my second job at the brewery at 4. So I was like heading there when she called. So I was just about to walk in and she calls me. I'm like, yo, what do you, it doesn't even matter when I leave. It's 4:00 on a Friday is a weird time to have an intro call. Would be my main takeaway.
Yeah, it is
weird.
With that.
That is weird. And let me ask this: where was she calling from? Was she already in Seattle, or is she calling East Coast time? Because she's calling East Coast time.
Very true.
That's like 7:00 her time. What's she doing making that call?
She's calling East Coast time because she was like, she's prepping her house to get ready to sell.
Wow! So she's calling 7 p.m. on a Friday. She's calling you.
I know.
Heartless.
And I get it that you have other stuff going on, and mind you, I have a couple issues with her to start. For pretty much all of COVID until about 3-4 weeks ago, I had no boss. I had like an intern boss who would help out with some things and it was fine, basic little check-ins, little questions they would try to answer, but they didn't have all the answers and it was fine. Like, I get it. Like, whatever. My boss got hired into Detroit like right before COVID and I'm not really complaining about that. But my issue was like the lack of transparency that my company showed, where it was just like no words on when we're going to get a new boss. And then, we hear like, oh, someone got hired. And like she didn't reach out for like 2 full weeks after everyone knew she had the job. And it's just like, hey, just send an intro email, just being like, hey, I'm excited to work with you guys. Like whatever. Like it would take 2 minutes realistically. Like, I'm moving to Seattle like this week, got to finish some stuff up here. Excited to work with you. I'll talk to you all soon. I look forward to it. And that would have been it. 2-minute email, send it to the group, would have been happy. But me and my team were all like, yo, this is kind of weird. It just makes us feel like we're just rings on the corporate ladder for her because ultimately that's what we are.
Yeah.
Like, that's true. But you don't have to, like,
you don't have to make someone feel like that. I agree.
Yeah, like, you could also just make the move to send the 2-minute email and be like, hey, I'm excited to work with you. Like, it doesn't really take that much time.
That's all people want to hear anyways. I don't want to have a phone call with you. Just send me a fucking email and we'll meet in person.
Yeah, my God, yes.
Leave me alone.
When I was at Lord Abbott, we had this boss, and I guess the second half of my time being there was a restructure, so he wasn't even my boss. But people would legitimately have to sneak out of the office because he was notorious for getting you as you're walking out, or like at 4:58 or whatever for a 5:00 day, and being like, "Oh, could you look this over?" Like, one time he came up to me and maybe reformat a full PowerPoint. like at 4, at
no
5:02 when I was leaving at like 5.
Fuck that.
And I was there till like 6:30, and it was like one of those things. He could have easily done it. It wasn't rocket science. He just didn't feel like it. There's nothing worse. That's like the worst feeling you can possibly have in a corporate job.
Horrible.
Oh,
but did he leave after he told you that, or did he wait with you? Like,
he was still there, but he didn't he didn't need it. He didn't need it that night or the next day. Right. So I was like, why? Why are you doing this? But people would legitimately sneak out a different door so he didn't see them when they were walking out. It was absolutely insane. But the kicker was he wasn't our boss for the second half and still did it. He was like,
oh my God,
who are you? Go away.
So he was like, no, I actually can't.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry about this, but no.
Wow. So for everyone out there, hot tip Rob is going back to school, going to grad school at a very prestigious university, going to get his MBA. How does it
Trump
feel?
University.
Yes, going to Trump U. He's reviving Trump U, first class back.
To sell Trump steaks.
To sell the steaks, yes. How does that feel right now, your time off? It's got to feel good, right?
It's a mix.
It's a shitty time to be having. It's the worst time.
Yeah. Like, I was hoping to maximize my time off and, like, be able to do stuff for, like, these 2 months. But, like, the fact that I don't have to, like, I don't have responsibilities is fantastic. Because it's, like, the first time since college that, like, I haven't done anything. So it's great. Like, I've been going to the beach and doing whatever the hell I want. But, yeah, I was, like, hoping to travel. And, like, me and Sawyer were thinking about going to Europe. And, like, all this stuff fell apart. And like now, like, I'm just trying to get a trip to like a lake in Pennsylvania, and even then, people are just like, I don't really know about it. It's like, oh, terrible.
Fuck you.
So like, I'm legitimately just like spending my time at home, which is fine and great, but it's not how I wanted.
Could be so much more.
Yeah, it's not what I wanted to do with these 2 months. So,
I mean, I'll say COVID for me has, coincidentally given me the time that I needed to put the work in to get back to school. So, in a weird way, while it hurt you, it helped me. So thank you.
It didn't hurt me. It's just unfortunate. Annoying. But
it didn't.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Going into data science.
Oh, nice.
I took a stats class over the last 7 weeks. Well, it finished a week ago, but it was cool. And I'm just learning a lot of coding. I've been doing that in pretty much my free time. And
what kind of coding? What software?
SQL, Excel, R, Python.
For it all. I love it.
So just doing all the coding, huh? Just doing it all.
So it's a lot to take in, but I'm pretty frustrated with Python right now. I feel like I have R down pretty well to do a lot of different things, but Python was pissing me off this morning. But that's not that entertaining, and people don't really care.
No.
That was
maybe Joey. Maybe if Joey listens, but he doesn't listen, so don't worry about it. Keep going.
Joey's a fucking loser.
I agree with that. Yeah.
We should. Let's have him listen to just this one bit then.
Yeah, we'll send him a little clip.
To 37 minutes, and Joey, it's just for you. We hate you. No, just kidding, Joey. Just kidding.
With love.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So I had a couple weddings. I actually was supposed to go to a wedding yesterday that got canceled, which sucked because it was someone that it's the brother of someone who's one of my close friends in Seattle, but still, we're close enough to where I was like, yeah, I'm down to go to this wedding, get a little, I know everyone there. It'll be cool. But that's not always the case with weddings. Sometimes you get invited to weddings and you're like, yo, what the fuck am I even doing here? Which is, it could be a great time. If you don't know anyone, you're just like, I'm just going to get housed. I got a DD, fuck it. If I make an ass of myself, I'm not going to see these people ever again. But it's also just do I spend the time getting to this place? But if it's kind of far away, do I have to spend money on a hotel? What are your guys' kind of thoughts on that sort of situation?
Rob, take this away. I think you've got a personal anecdote here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm all for going to the wedding that you don't really know the person that well, just to get have a good time and get tanked. But I got invited to a wedding the other day to someone I legitimately don't know. Legitimately, I have probably spoken to this kid maybe 5 times in my life. He's one of my friend's friends. He was his best man, and I was in the wedding, and we saw each other in February. And before that, I probably hadn't seen him since 2016. And like not like one of those like, oh, we were good friends, we drifted apart, but when we get back together, like we're still great friends. It's like, nope, I don't know you. So
why do you think you got invited?
I don't know. Like maybe he's just having trouble filling out the
numbers game. I think it's a numbers game.
Maybe he has no friends. I don't know, but like, do you go? Do you go and just have a good time, even though you don't really know anybody except for like a couple people? Or
so you know people that it would be fun enough for you, right?
I mean, not really. I mean, I know like one or two, and I got a +1 somehow. But like,
there you go. That was my next question. That was my next
question.
Yeah.
But then the kicker: how in the world did I get a +1?
Right.
I think everyone's getting a +1 is the thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Jesus.
And I think that's the proof that it's a numbers thing. He needs to think it's numbers.
It's a COVID thing, I think, as well. I think he probably had he either doesn't have a lot of friends or a lot of his friends are elsewhere right now, and he's just trying to make it look like a nice full setting.
I mean, the wedding, but the kicker is the wedding's in January, a week after I'm the best man in a wedding. So, like,
wow.
Ooh, the back-to-back, that's tough.
Kalori, Rob, you'll be there. Like, that's my wedding.
Tell this guy that I will be in town. So if he wants to invite me in a +1, I'll be there as well.
You want to go? I'm down.
I'll go. I'll gladly go.
You've heard of him.
Can I get a +3?
Matt, you want to fly in?
Fly in. We'll go to this wedding. So my thought on weddings.
Live podcast.
We'll do a live pod at the wedding. Everyone, we actually just need 20 minutes of like. Everyone, just be quiet for 20 minutes.
Please quiet down. Please stop the Cupid shuffle.
Electric slide. Stop it now. I love going to weddings when I'm going as the +1, so I know almost nobody. Let's say I know 2 people there. I love that. That's a blast for me because I know there's going to be someone there that I'm going to click with. And I've gone to probably 2 or 3 of those in those scenario, and they've always been a blast. However, being invited when you're the one who's supposed to know these people, it's a little bit of a different vibe. The feel is a little off. I actually met someone who I never met before, but I was a +1 and he was a +1.
Wait, time out. You met someone that you never met before?
Yeah, that's why we met.
Wow. Okay.
That's why we met.
That's weird. Wow, I've never done that before.
And I guess you could meet someone again, right? You could meet someone twice.
I guess if they got amnesia.
If they forget about you.
Or if it's been so long, you just meet them and they're like a changed man or woman.
True.
You just meet them again.
Not here for your misogyny.
Deep.
Man or woman, nothing misogynistic about it.
I mean, they're kind of man.
Yeah. So this guy invited me to his wedding after I met him once at a wedding.
But did you become friends, or did he invite you off that one time you met each other?
Based off of that.
So you met each other at a wedding, right? Never saw him again, and in the mail comes your invite to his wedding.
Yeah, I'm skipping some details because his girlfriend and my girlfriend know each other as well. But I got my own invite from him, and
you're skipping kind of the big details, like a little bit. There's like a massive, by the way, my girlfriend's best friend with his future wife.
The kicker is that I am likely going to be in the wedding party. That is the kicker.
That's ridiculous.
That is the kicker. That is a kicker. You've got me.
Yeah.
You've got me there.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you in the wedding party?
Well, because my girlfriend's going to be in the wedding party, I guess.
That does
not justify it, but we did hit it off. We had a blast.
It doesn't matter.
I agree. It's very peculiar.
That's interesting because he seems very personable because you guys came really friendly at one event, but yet it also seems like he has no friends because you're in the wedding.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a weird dichotomy there.
It's quite the juxtaposition. I agree.
How big of a wedding are you? Just, not that you're saying you're planning a wedding or anything, but what is your ideal wedding size, Rob?
Which Rob? You got to specify.
You. I mean, no offense to the other Rob, but I don't think he has. I don't think he's quite in that ballpark quite yet.
No, I'm not quite there yet. Sorry, guys.
I am cool either way. I would. I mean, I guess in an ideal world, I'd have a fucking huge wedding, and it would just be a absolute fucking blast with everyone there. But also, I'd be okay with eloping. Actually, I'm cool with eloping, and then just have like a party later with people. I'm cool either
Yeah.
way. But I don't want like if I'm having the wedding, I'm not like I want one open bar. I think we've talked about that. That's the biggest must. Give me the open bar. It's a given. And then I'd like to invite as many people as humanly possible.
I have
Nice.
maintained that your wedding for me is going to be my favorite wedding ever. I've already preordained it because it'll be both friend groups coming together.
Yeah, but why can't you say that about your own wedding?
Because I'll be busy.
Yeah, true.
Because he's going to be he'll have there's too much pressure as the
No,
groom there.
I can't actually see you guys
very
hang out. Yeah, I'm going to get drunk at your wedding and have no responsibility.
Nice. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the same thing at my wedding.
It's going to be like that Super Bowl party all over again where she's pissed at you because you're just being an asshole because you're drunk and like...
Right, but as soon as he says I do...
on the Patriots.
As soon as he says I do in the church, it's too late. She can't do anything about it then.
Yeah, it's like,
all bets are off.
Yep.
What, are you going to divorce me after a day? What are you, fucking Pamela Anderson?
Think of what everyone will say.
Think of the status. Think of your image. What about Bryson DeChambeau? Think of your brand.
For me, I would say I actually think there's a decent chance I will get eloped for that tasty insurance if things go to plan for me.
Such a user. You're such a user.
Are you uninsured?
No, I'm insured right now, but if I quit my current position, I would then be uninsured, and then I could just elope to get reinsured and not have to pay as much money as it would cost otherwise. Because my girlfriend I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'll just be uninsured. Like, I'll just be safe. Like, if I get hurt, I'll just suck it up and probably not die. And she's like, no, off the table. Like, you have to have health insurance.
Yeah, you get fined if you don't have it for like 3 months.
Yeah. But even like with the Trump government, like, they might just get rid of that. Yeah, they don't. I'm not to put this like, I'm not the people that the Trump government's looking for. Let's just put it that way.
Matt,
not to be an asshole.
I don't want to let this get away from us. I think that your girlfriend is using this to force you into marrying her.
Yep, I agree with
She's forcing marriage upon you.
You
realize that that's happening.
I mean, she's definitely dropping hints, but I've been very like.
Now she's done with the hints. She's saying that's unacceptable.
How long?
I mean, it's been like 6 or 7 years now.
How do you not know that? You got to know that.
Maybe.
You know the answer to that.
You were trailing off there.
Well, there was a rough timeline in the beginning.
Rough time at the beginning. That brings up a transition for me. Does quarantine time count for new relationships? Does that time count? Let's say you started a new relationship in January. Can you say that you've been dating for 6 months by now?
Why don't you just at me, man?
This question.
Wait! Time out. Are you in a new relationship? Because I did not know that.
I mean, it's not new, but maybe it is. Of course.
Hey, let's get to the bottom of it. It might be new.
I didn't. Who is the wonderful gal? What does she do? What's she like?
Her name's Gab. She's really nice, really cool. She works in a PT office, thinking about going back to school, and so
I have a cousin that does that. He's a doctorate in PT.
Oh, wow!
He lives with my parents right now. Strangely enough,
that's weird.
That is strange.
It's a very weird situation where he went to school in Ohio, wanted to get a job with his he also has a fiance who lives in Madison, Wisconsin, but there's no jobs in Madison, Wisconsin, so he's trying to get experience in Chicago where there's more jobs, and then quarantine happened, so he's just been living with my parents.
Well, let Rob finish his story, damn it.
Sorry.
That brings the point up. So, right, it starts in like December, January, something like that, right? So you're like 6 months in, but during quarantine, like for the first 2 months, I mean, we're in New Jersey, which are just super serious, right? So like you really were not going out. So like there's 2 blank months there, really not seeing each other, So like, do those count? Like I
did you not?
Go ahead.
Did you not see each other in those 2 months?
There was probably a solid 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
How often did you guys talk?
Oh, every day. Like, no, I'm not
on the phone or text.
Mixed. You know, not on the phone every day, but text every day. You know, whatever. But
I'll count that time as half.
I think it counts. It counts.
Yeah, sure, it counts.
Time is time.
Time.
I think it counts if you end up getting married and you're like, how long have you been together? We've been together for like 15 years or whatever.
You don't have the time there then.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like what's the I love you timeline, because that's got to be slowed down probably, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was going to say. You could use it to your advantage. All the stuff, like the serious stuff in the relationship, you don't count that time.
Yeah,
but when you're talking to third parties, you count the time.
Yes, I think that's how I'm approaching it.
Excellent. Great minds there, Rob.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it.
Good. I'm glad.
Have you? Are you at that point yet?
What point?
The I love you point?
No.
Okay, no. Well, that's fair. I was
Gotta withhold it. It's. Do
you think she has the? Do you think she has the chance?
Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah, good. Well, good. I'm happy for you. I had no idea, and I'm not. I'm shocked just because I didn't know. I am not shocked because I don't think you.
Yeah. What are you trying to say here?
Yeah, you're really overdoing this, too much.
If it was, if it was Sawyer, I would be shocked. Let me put it that way. If it was JV, I would be shocked. Rob, you're a good guy, well bred. You know, probably.
You got great lineage, Rob. You got great lineage. Your genes.
Very personable. Pleasant enough to be around. I'm not shocked. I just didn't know. I'm more shocked that it's been, I don't know, 8 months roughly.
I'm a private person, Matt.
That's true. That is true.
You just went at Sawyer. I don't think it's a good strategy to alienate like a 33% of your listenership.
Oh, I will. I mean,
yeah, devastating blow for us.
It's more than that. We had actually some listeners in Brazil last week.
Wow. Brazil.
It was wild, yeah. And some in the UK the week before. So people are getting out there. And
did you talk like footy? Did you talk like soccer? Were you talking soccer for 30 seconds?
No, we weren't.
That was talking soccer.
We'd have a good guest, right? Big soccer guy.
That is a good. That's stealing from someone else, but we did it well.
Yeah, they won't find out.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I did ask one of those hosts to come on.
Yeah, I saw you going after PFT.
He said he was going to go on small podcasts, but then to my knowledge, I think he did. I think he reneged on that promise.
I think he went a little bigger than yours, though. Oh, excuse me.
He said he said he was going. He said he was going like this size. Like the podcast size he explained was this.
I mean, I would have loved his takes on pooping with the lid up and down. You know.
Yeah. What about his takes on applying sunscreen on the lower body?
Yeah, that's a take I'd love to hear.
I have takes.
Personally, no.
Ever?
I mean, I've done it, but I would. When I was a child, and my mom was like, "You better sunscreen every like inch of your body that's going to see the sun." But as an adult, no.
Yeah, that's fair. I stopped applying sunscreen to my lower body in Miami because your lower body's always exposed to the sun, so it just constantly has that base tan. And I really honestly haven't applied since, except I'm big time the top of my feet, because there's no worse feeling than getting in the burn on the top of your feet. So I always apply top of my feet.
I almost never let the top of my feet see the light of day.
So when they're out there, you got to apply.
No, I just don't let it happen.
So what do you don't go to a pool? What's wrong with you, you weirdo?
I don't go to a pool.
You don't go to pools. You don't like pools?
There's no pools in Seattle. I don't like pools. I don't like chlorine.
Why are there no pools in
Seattle?
Because it's only ever gets up to about 75 degrees.
Perfect pool weather.
That is excellent pool weather.
No, it's too cold. Too cold.
But 75 with a heated pool? Get out of town.
I mean, with a heated, there's not a lot of pools around. I couldn't, other than like the indoor pool, like the YMCA or whatever. Like, I don't know of any pools that I could like go to right now.
What's that about? There's no beaches there either, right? So what do people do for
some beaches.
Water?
There's a lot of beaches. There's
beaches, but they're not.
But it's the water is frigid.
Yeah,
it all gets bad. Like the water's coming down from Alaska, and the water is fucking super cold. Or you go into those fucking like we went to a mountain We went to a mountain. There was still fucking ice in the water. And there was a family next to us who was all like, oh, let's go touch the iceberg little thing. And then it was like, yo, that water is probably 40 degrees. Like, it might be 60, 65 up here, but like, which is still too cold for swimming, but no, thank you. Honestly, I just don't like being pruny. I'll go to the beach if it's like 95 degrees and I'm hot, but like, I only like it when I like it when it's hot, and I don't regulate my body temperature while in water, so it has to be really hot for me to enjoy going to a pool.
What a weird problem to have. So, is there a medical term for that?
I don't know. Like, if it's not like scalding hot outside where you're burning yourself on the pavement walking up to that pool, like, I will be cold in the pool pretty much no matter what, and it's just not pleasant for me.
So
this is so groundbreaking.
Take it away. On the sunscreen front, like, I go through like stages. I know we kind of got away from this a little bit.
That's how this goes.
I mean, you know me, I'm pretty dark, so I don't really burn, and so like I start like getting real cocky about it. And so I usually go through the stage where I won't do it at all, and then like the other week, I got so burned, I was a lobster. So now I'm like vigorously applying it every inch of my body. Like 30 minutes before I even enter the sun, and then that'll gradually fade until I get real cocky again, and then get burned again.
Mm-hmm. Are you an aloe guy now? Did you aloe up after your burn?
Yeah, it was bad enough where I had to do a little aloe. I was I
like the aloe.
I was like peeling for like a solid 2 weeks. It was pretty bad.
Little Rob jerky out there.
I never get burned on my legs though. I've never had the top of the feet problem or anything.
Oh, that's the only place I get is top of the feet.
I've had the back of my calves before last year when I was in a softball league. The back of the calves got burnt bad.
That's rough. A weird spot to get it. That makes me really sad for my softball league being canceled and all softball leagues. Man, I needed
softball.
I was about to say it. Pour one out for softball.
I need it. I need the softball, and it's gone. It's devastating.
Well, you got golf.
Oh, I got golf.
HTR, do you golf at all?
So I golfed once this summer with Joey and Sawyer, and I thought they were going to be really good, and I was going to be terrible, and we're just all terrible. Actually, everyone is terrible. Hold on. I take that back. Yeah. Sawyer had a nice round. And he was very jolly. I was the nicest Sawyer's ever been. So, like, I'll tell you what. I hope Sawyer shoots 60 every time with him because he was so pleasant to be around, and it was just fantastic. Joey, on the other hand, had a nightmare of a day, shooting the ball all over the place. Stop driving the ball. I respected the hell out of it. He was just like, I'm not driving it. I'm just going to drop with you guys. I'm like, I respect that.
That's great.
I don't respect that. I mean, you got to give it a shot at least.
I respect it. He was losing balls all over the place. He'd respect it.
Yeah, well, okay. If you're losing balls from the beginning, it's like hole 12.
From what I've heard, it was just a bad day. I've heard he's decent, but
yeah, I mean, he's golfed enough to where I think it would be decent. Because at a certain point, we're just like, I'm just not good at this. Like, I'm just going to stop.
The amount of mulligans they take, though. Oh my god, we are liberal.
I know they take mulligans. I know. Like, that's like
where. How many are we talking? Give me a scenario of like what is the deal there?
I would say 3 tee shots
on one hole.
Yeah, I was like tee shot bad.
Oh my god!
So just until the tee shot is at least in play. Until the tee shot's in play.
If the third one was bad, it was just like let's just pick it up and go because there were two guys behind us who were not too happy about how slow we were moving.
Oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's bad.
No.
That is rough.
No, the whole course was backed up. It wasn't us. It was the whole thing.
Well, it's one thing if you're waiting anyways. Just like we're all waiting anyways.
We were waiting, and they were waiting because we were waiting. You know, one of those deals. But no, Sawyer had a good day. Joey had a bad day, but I don't think Joey's terrible. I just think he had a bad day.
So I almost smacked someone else because of waiting again this last week.
Go on.
Someone. Stop smacking people.
It's a downhill hole, and it's like we recommend a layup, and I'm like, yeah, but I can drive it to the fucking green if I just hit it.
Playing with a caddy?
Yeah. No, there's a sign that literally says 150 yards to a steep drop. And it's like that was my point. The reason you lay up is because you can't see downhill and you almost hit people.
Oh, wow, that's good. That's a good point.
And that is what I learned. And then they were like, yo, what the
Did you
fuck?
get
And I
anyone?
was like, sorry, didn't see it. No, I didn't actually make contact. Someone almost hit me on the same hole. It was close. I didn't see anything. I respected it. I was like, that was a good drive. I shouldn't have been where I was standing.
We accidentally picked up the dude behind us' ball. We thought it was just
That's his fault for putting it there. That's his fault for putting it there.
He hit it onto the fairway of the next hole, so he just thought it was a straight ball. So of course he comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, did you guys?" I think Sawyer picked the ball up. He's like, "Did you guys pick up my ball?" I was like, "Nah, we didn't do it." And then of course Sawyer comes running back with the ball. He's like, "Oh, it was right here." I was like, "You made me look like such an asshole."
Nah, no way. It wasn't.
I lied to him so hard. I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And Sawyer came back like, "No, we took it." I was like, "Damn it."
That's hilarious. Yeah, fuck that guy. Honestly, like if that happens and you hit the ball on another fairway and someone takes it, just take the loss there. Just be like, all right, I fucked up.
No, I would take a drop and be like, yeah, someone clearly took this. I know where it was, and just like I'm gonna take a drop and not count a shot.
Do you think if you put the ball back, someone would call in the tip line and give a 2-stroke penalty?
Yes, they call the clubhouse. They send the ranger out. So
have you ever driven the Ranger cart?
No, why the fuck would I drive the Ranger cart?
One time we got it, and it was fast as shit. Oh my god, this thing flew around the course compared to every other golf cart that was slow as hell. Like it doesn't have the.
They took the restrictor plate out.
Yeah, it fucking flies. It is not street legal. It was so much better. Oh, it was fun.
That is nice. Yeah, so Rob, how are you feeling about playing? Are you going to start playing a little more? Is that in your interest?
I mean, I would need to get a set of clubs. I don't have a set of clubs, which is a big hang up.
You can come play with me. I always have a spare set for people.
Oh, well, then come play with you. I think it's something. I think it's fun. I would do it like once in a while, but like you guys are talking about like a golf trip where you're playing like 72 holes in 3 days. Like, that sounds terrible.
I think.
Oh, come on! You don't have to play all the holes. You can just hang out.
So
like,
no. I'm not saying the trip sounds terrible.
Okay. We could do right. Tell me if I'm wrong. We could do. I think a fair agreement. I think we said we'd do is like, if you were going and like, let's say you played 2 out of 3 days, so you played 36 holes, and then people that wanted to play that third day to get more 54 holes in 3 days.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good combo.
Yeah,
to get people that really want to go, and then the people that just want to fuck around a little bit and do whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, so I played really well for like the first 9 holes, then it all crumbled and fell apart. If I had to play another 18 holes after that, I'd be, I know it's not the same day, but my confidence was shot. I was like, I don't know about that.
I mean, my confidence gets shot hole to hole. It's tough out there.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, too. You never know. Next time you play, you might be fucking horrible on the front 9, and then the back 9, you piece it all together.
Well, that's what happened to me on Wednesday, was that, I mean, we played this nice course, not even a muni course. Like, we go there Wednesday evening at 5 o'clock was our tee time. They're like, oh, we're going to start you on the back 9. We're like, oh, that's weird. And then it took us 3 hours and 22 minutes to play 9 holes.
Ew, that's unheard of.
It was terrible because it was just hit, wait, hit, wait, hit.
It's just that crowded.
It was terrible.
Wow.
Awful. Beautiful course. Like, it's a wonderful course. I've played it when it's not so backed up, and it's a great time. You get some great views of the Puget Sound, great views of the mountains. Like, it is a nice course, but oh my God, it was terrible. And then me and my buddy who I went with, we're just like, yo, you just want to play like the back 9 again because no one's gonna be out there. And we played it like the rest of the back 9 in an hour 15.
What time is the perfect tee time?
Right before, when you finish, right when sundown's coming, or early.
Yeah, I think for me, I love to do the twilight's cheaper. So as soon as fucking twilight starts, it's like perfect for me. Yeah. So like 4 or 3, depending on the time of year or whatever it is.
I would say my ideal time is being first off. It's early, but if you go to the right course, it's not too early. And then you're just like, you're free to go at your speed. And especially if it's only you or another person, you're not going to be like holding other people up. And you can just go at your speed. There's no pressure. It's nice and early. I really like, my favorite time of day is just the early morning where you get that, like, the sun's coming up, you got that dew on the ground. It's just like, it's not too hot yet. Towards the end of the round, it's getting a little warmer, but it's not like where it's like the middle of the day where it's like unbearable. And I also don't like playing at like noon, where it's like if you play at noon, there's not much time in the morning to do stuff. And then that takes you up until like, I don't know, like 4 or 5, 6 o'clock sometimes. Like, and then it's just like, all right, well, that was my whole day. It was just this one round of golf, which is like fine. Like, I'm not against that. But as someone who doesn't really have a lot of free time, it just ends up, it's too much. So I'd rather go off at 7, be done by noon, and still have the rest of the day in front of me.
That makes sense. A lot of golf talk.
So if we did an early AM golfing round like that, like a 7 a.m., you realize we'd have to be drinking regardless of the tee time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good. That's what I did in Idaho. I know you hate me mentioning Idaho, Rob.
Oh, another Idaho rev. We couldn't go an episode without it. There it is.
But yeah, I packed 2 PBRs with me, drank them
a whole 2
on the first couple of holes.
That's what I say.
You know, that
2 6-packs, maybe.
I knew that there was more alcohol on the course, and I didn't want to be too much of an asshole.
Right.
I put them into my water bottle that was like insulated, so they stayed cold. And then I knew there'd be more, cart girl coming around. So cart girl comes around. The weird thing about Idaho is like, oh yeah, we don't sell because we got off on the first tee time. They're like, oh yeah, we don't sell hard A until 10 o'clock.
That's a peculiar rule. Probably for the best though. For them,
is that peculiar? It's not like an absurd time to not start.
No, it was not absurd. It was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'll take a White Claw.
I guess I'm just wondering why they picked that time, I guess. Why 10?
Because 10 is acceptable,
It's just an Idaho state law. Yeah. Those Bible people, I tell you. They got those weird rules. All right, anything else you guys want to hit on? I know that cake's been hot on the internet lately, which I think is moronic.
Oh, my God. The everything being cake when you cut into it. Have you seen that?
Oh, I've seen that.
Oh,
That's
my
stupid.
God. But what is up with that?
It's talented. They're talented people that make them.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
But pie versus cake. Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was to answer your question. Pie. Pie is so much better than cake.
I agree with that too.
100%.
Cake is not even that good. I'm just going to say it.
I don't like cake. Unless it's ice cream cake.
I like ice cream cake.
Ice cream cake is big. Yeah. Wow, we all just nailed that.
Wow. Yeah, that was I didn't expect that. But
what kind of
pie?
I really like all pie. I actually just today had a slice of pecan pie.
Oh.
Pecan pie is good. Pecan pie is good. Yeah. What's that? I know I'm going to sound like an idiot, not remember the name of it. What's that like pie that's like mostly like cream kind of? It's like French.
Coconut cream?
No, not coconut cream. There's like, huh?
Lemon meringue pie?
No, not lemon meringue either. There's like a...
key lime pie? I don't know.
No, not key lime. That's more of like a cheesecake.
Banana, whatever the fuck.
I'm just yelling at it.
I'll look it up. You guys vamp about pies.
I mean, I love every single pie we just mentioned. I love all of them.
French silk pie. French silk pie is my top pie.
What are you even saying? French silk pie?
French silk pie.
French.
It's just like a chocolate. It's a very
French
light
silk pie. Sounds like you get a group of guys that all jerk off into a pie. You bake it, and then there's the French silk pie.
I mean, that is what it sounds like. But no, it's
and that's why
it's kind of like it's just a really light pie. Here's your classic pie crust. There's a little bit of chocolate as your base layer of like a really like almost like meringue sort of base to it with a little bit of cream on. It's good. It's good. I know I said cream, which is also more.
You did. I'll tell you what. If I ever see that on the menu, I'll try that pie.
French silk pie is really good. That's my favorite pie.
You keep sounding like you hear soap.
I thought you were saying friendship pie.
Friendship pie is apple pie. Let me tell you, we're in America here, boy.
That's my favorite.
That's a great pie.
Apple pie is a good pie.
You know, I like cherry pie. I really love cherry pie.
Apple pie and Chevrolet.
You know what I used to do every time my folks and I would go camping back in the day? We would always get we had this little like pie maker that was like for an open fire, and you would just get the canned cherries, get a little crust on it, and make a little personal cherry pie right there on the open fire. So good.
Wow.
Every time. My dad loves cherries, so we would always just make a cherry, and it was great every time.
It's a nice tart food. I like tart.
Yeah,
foods.
I heard a little laughter from UHDR. You can fucking just huck it up over there, you little fucker.
I figured your favorite was a cream pie.
It is. That's just what he calls a French silk pie.
Me and my dad, we went camping and
he creamed all over me.
And now this is a true crime. This has become a true crime podcast, just like that.
Cold case mysteries.
Did you hear? I mean, like on TikTok, there's that girl. After 30 years, like, no, I'm not on TikTok, but
you should do that.
You should be.
I should not.
You should do all those dances.
It's just gonna get banned It's just gonna get banned in like a week, anyways. What's the point? There's a gal on there on TikTok though who's probably about our age. She was trying to like figure out the murder of her sister, which is probably her dad, which is pretty fucked up.
Yikes!
Could you imagine murdering one daughter but not the other and expecting to get away with it?
No, my answer to that is no. I can't.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions here.
We don't even have kids.
Well, how many kids do you think of yourself having?
Oh, I could go. I could go big.
Rob's like, I have 2 and then 1.
We don't talk about the 4th. She's gone.
Yeah. I'll have maximum 6 kids.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Are you serious?
I would. Whoever I'm with, like my girlfriend.
Max now. 6 is a big fucking number. Because like you say max 6 now and all of a sudden it's 8 because you have twins or something.
I don't care. I'll have 8 kids.
That is way too many. I would say
it's like 2 max. So.
2 is an absolute max. 2 is an absolute max.
I'd say 3 is a max. 2 is definitely my comfort zone.
Yeah. Jesus. 6 kids is like being okay with.
Realistic. I'm not saying it's realistic. I'm not saying it's probable. I'm just saying that's my max.
Robin 8 plus 8.
It would depend on like financial factors. If I was, comfortable enough to pull that off, I'd have 6 kids.
You'd go snip, snap after 6.
Yeah. For sure.
I would do physical and emotional toll.
I absolutely would do that.
All right. Anything else you guys want to get into before we sign off here?
I got nothing.
I think I'm good.
We had a hell of a ride, Rob. Thank you for being our first guest. Tremendous guest. We weathered a technical storm.
I have a feeling you won't hear much from me from the first 30 minutes of this, but I'm going to come in strong for part 2.
Part two,
you're in
part
strong.
2 with the vengeance.
Massive.
Yeah.
And we hope, I trust and hope you'll be back again soon.
Whatever you guys want.
What's the theme of the episode?
Rob, you give us the theme of the episode.
I don't know. There's a lot of golf. There's a lot of golf talk, a little more than I was comfortable with.
Ooh.
I feel like there's typically a decent amount of golf talk on this podcast.
Oh, I don't listen to your podcast.
We'll call it French silk pie.
You're a fucking asshole.
Find your pie. Find your pie. That's the
Find your pie.
Oh
yes.
my God.
Find your pie. Find your pie. Follow us at another.
Watch party. Net Capital. Go.
Stream us at another week with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. We'll talk to you again next week. Thank you all for listening. We love you. Right, HDR, right, good Rob? You love the guys? All of them.
Love you all so much.